Hi, it's Sprinkle of Sunshine here, and today we're going to be opening up Miniverse Make It Mini, the birthday series. This is the only one I've opened so far, and I'm hoping to collect the rest of the rainbow items today. The inner wrapper has lots of birthday themed graphics on them. I really love the ice cream tarts, they look so cool. I'm really hoping that these inner wrappers mean that this is part of the rainbow set. So our resin is the strawberry milkshake, which I think means I'm in luck. Next up is the crushed ice. So I think this is the rainbow shakes. Dun dun dun. Oh, we have our whipped cream toppings to go on top. These look really, really super cool. And this looks as though it's going to be our sprinkles. Such really cute pastel colors for the sprinkles. I love that. Love that so much. And interestingly, they're ball shaped and not like sprinkle shaped, if that makes sense. Here is some heart-shaped sugar cookies. These are sort of like decorative. They go in the top of the rainbow shakes. And then last but not least, we obviously have our glasses for our milkshakes. I love these. These are like, is it iridescent? Is that what they're called? Where they sort of like, not sparkle, but they shimmer, that different rainbow color that they have going on. And last, but by no means least, we obviously have all of our tools and our 2 straws. Although I do have my own tools, which I sometimes find are much easier. So we're going to start off with our crushed ice and also some of our resin in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and pour some into these glasses. I don't want to put too much in because I can always add more, but it's really hard to take some away. The other thing I'm really trying to do is to make sure that I put an equal amount in each of them, and that is strangely harder than it looks. So now that my crushed ice is in there, I'm going to add some of the strawberry milkshake resin. And I think I'm going to use the straws to mix this up because it just seems like the most sensible option. That is actually what they tell you to do in the instructions, and looking at all of the tools that are provided, it really seems like it's the most effective one because you can set your straw in the resin in a minute as well. So I'm going to stir this right up and hope that I don't get too many air bubbles. And you can see there, you can see the difference between one that has been stirred and one that hasn't. I'm not sure if it shows up very well on the camera, but at the moment the milkshake has like a really gritty texture going on, but I'm gonna go ahead and use the UV light and see how they end up. A little top tip from me at this point, leave your resin upside down so that it heads to the bottom of the bottle. But these have cured now, and I do have an air bubble in one, which is really, really frustrating, but I'm hoping you won't see it once everything else has been put on top. Now I have to decorate the heart sugar cookies, and I do have to say I'm actually really grateful for the butter type knife tool that they've put in with this miniature set because it's going to come in so handy right now. I am a little bit bummed because one of the sugar cookies has an imperfection on it, but I'm going to put that one in with the milkshake that already has an air bubble, so if that one doesn't turn out okay, at least I have one that might be perfect. I also don't know if you can tell, but trying to put resin on these tiny little cookies is so awkward, so this butter knife is absolutely worth its weight in gold for this because I'm able to push it right up into the sort of like high curves of the heart. So we're going to go ahead and add the sprinkles to it now. I didn't really have a method for this, I'm just kind of tipping them on and hoping that they fall where they do, but I also think that's quite natural. You wouldn't really bake a cookie and put the sprinkles on one by one, so hopefully these are going to end up really looking good. If you are somebody who likes to build these miniatures, I would definitely invest in some of these long tweezers because as you can see here, they are so helpful at just keeping pieces where they need to go while you're trying to add the resin or extra decor or things like that. And I don't know if you can actually tell from looking at this, but I have really fat thumbs, so trying to hold small items like this really still is actually quite tricky, but yeah. Anyway, time for the UV on the sugar cookies, and then we are going to use some more of the strawberry milkshake resin on the top so that we can add our little whipped creams and our sugar cookies and hopefully set them completely in place. I'm actually really excited that this is the next step because I'm adding more resin. I'm really hoping that it's going to cover up completely that air bubble that I left on top. top because that was a rookie error. Also, can't believe I just dropped that sugar cookie. Luckily, it was the one that already had an imperfection, so if there's any damage, it's all good. But as you can see there, I've placed them really carefully at the back, and then we're gonna go ahead and add our little whipped cream with the cherries on top. The graphics on the guide actually show it as having 2, so I'm going to do the same. I'm going to add 2, but I also think if you wanted to save some for a different project, you could get away with 1 in there, but we're going to go ahead and follow it to the T and put both in. It's worth saying again, and no, this is not an ad, these long tweezers, honestly, they are coming in props for things like this. So if you enjoy things like this, you definitely should look at getting some. But how cool do these look? Like, they are epic. I am so happy with them. How do you think I did? Do you think they look how they're supposed to look, or do you think I could have done them better? Leave me a comment, let me know. Okay, so I have 2 out of the 4 rainbow items. Can we make it 3? Oh, it's looking likely from the color of the inner wrappers. So our resin is the condensed milk. Yes. I'm 99% certain that that means this should be the ice cream tarts. Yes, these are the rainbow ice cream scoops. So we now will have 3 out of the 4 for the rainbow items. This is so exciting. Wow, look at those unicorn horns. They are going to look so amazing on the ice cream tarts. I cannot wait to put those on. They're so cool. And these obviously are our tarts that we are going to fill and, you know, put the ice cream scoops on top and what have you. And now we have our sprinkles. Again, these are in such cute pastel shades. Love those. And our cake stand. It's the iridescent type plastic as well that shimmers the rainbow type shine. They're gonna match the milkshake glasses perfectly. That brings me such excitement. I'm obsessed. Not forgetting our party plates for serving, but let's get these tarts out and get started because I am ridiculously excited to get these put together. Again, I know I keep saying it, but my long tweezers are just coming in so handy right now because these would be so tricky to try and get out with your fingers. But let's go ahead. So basically you fill these up with the condensed milk resin. And once they are full, we are going to go ahead and put our ice cream scoops on the top. I'm not really sure how they're going to set because surely the resin is going to be covered up by the ice cream scoop when it tries to set. I'm not really sure. Let's figure it out as we go and see what happens. But yeah, first stop is to fill up each and every single one of these with the resin, which again is much harder than it looks, trying to make sure that it all goes super neatly up to the brim. But so far so good. It seems to be going in okay. I'm gonna go ahead and scoop out my rainbow ice cream scoops and plop those on top. And when I have got all of them into position, we will get them underneath the UV light and try and get this resin set. These are a little bit trickier, so again, I'm bringing in the tweezers just to rearrange and make sure that they are perfectly in place. But I really am worrying about whether these will actually set or whether they won't. They're all ready for the UV light now, so let's give that a go and see what happens. Complete failure. So I'm just going to quickly dab some around the rim and reset. That was much better. So these are ready for the resin to go on the top, ready to stick on our unicorn horns and our sprinkles. Again, the butter shaped knife is coming in absolute amazing right now because it's just so much easier to spread it out with. This may look easy, but even with my super long tweezers, this is so fiddly to get that horn in place. So let's quickly add our sprinkles because I'm really worried that the horn is just going to slide down the side of the ice cream tart. And I'm going to do them one at a time for this reason. I'm going to quickly UV light this one. I am literally going to do these one at a time just to try and set it as quick as possible, just to try and stop anything from sliding out of place because gravity is not working in our favor with these. Okay, tart number 1 is a success, so we're going to move on to number 2, but I do think a big part of that success was setting the resin straight away. So 1000% that is the plan for all of these. We're going to tackle them one by one. Rather than showing you that 4 times, let's skip to them all finished. They look so good. Oh, honestly, I would love to eat a dessert that looked like this, like bubblegum ice cream or candy floss or fabulous. I'm obsessed. And look how cute they look on the little paper plates served up. Absolutely amazing. Now, in order to get the full rainbow set, I need this to be the rainbow cake. Oh, it's green. It's not gonna happen. So since it's obviously not from the rainbow range, I'm really intrigued to see what this is. So we have marshmallow fluff. This is our resin. I'm interested to see how that's gonna work because I have only had like liquids so far. We have a chocolate bar. Graham cracker crumbs. They look interesting. And, ooh, cocoa mix. Cool. I think these might be the Smalls dirt cups, just from the things that I've been opening. Looks like I'm right since we've got the little... And we have our Smalls dirt cups here as well. So let's go ahead and put our first ingredient in, which is the cocoa mix. I'm not really sure how much to put in, so I think I'm gonna go with a generous helping in the bottom because I really like chocolate, so why not? It really does have a powder consistency, so it is actually slightly messy to do this if you can be a little bit clumsy like me, but that's kind of the amount that I've put in the bottom of the mason jars. And then we're gonna add some of the marshmallow fluff resin. Super excited to see what this looks like. Oh, look at that. That is such a good white marshmallow fluff color. That is amazing. And I feel like it actually has more of a sort of like sticky marshmallowy texture than the other resins, but man, is it hard to get off the spoon. I feel like I'm making the inside of the jars absolutely filthy, which is so frustrating because I really wanted those clean lines on the outside of the mason jars so it would look amazing. That one has gone slightly better, so I'm just going to use the tweezers and give it a little bit of a wiggle round. Next up after this, we are going to add the graham cracker crumbs, and these look really cool. They actually make me think of like crushed up toffees just because of how they look, but yeah, they look really cool. So we're going to do a layer of those, and I wanted to make sure that it was a big enough layer you would be able to see it from the outside of the jar before we top it up with another layer of the marshmallow fluff. These are actually looking so good, and you can definitely see the different layers from the outside, so I am unbelievably happy about that. I maybe should have saved a little bit more of the marshmallow fluff because these are definitely going to be uneven now, but I'm hoping that when we have the material bits on top, you just won't see it. So yeah, before we get to there, let's go ahead and add our chocolate bar. Again, you could add 2 because there's actually 4 in the packet, but I think 1 looks so much cuter. Now, I did actually forget to set with resin for the first layer, so I'm maybe gonna like double the time for this second layer just to really make sure that they're set. And then we're gonna go ahead and use the mason jar kit to make the tops for our mason jar. I think this is absolutely adorable. There is 4, but I think I'm gonna use 2 for each one and fold it in half so that you can see it on both sides. The little elastic bows are so cute, but that was such a pain to get on. I cut it out because honestly, it took me so long to try and get that to stay in place. And they're done! They're both finished, and I think they look really cool. You can obviously see one has slightly better lines, which is the one I'm showing you now, and I think I didn't do too bad. But with that in mind, let's go ahead and see how much of the Miniverse Make It Mini Birthday series I have got. We've got 3 of the rainbow items, and we also have the Smalls dirt cups. Remember to keep the sunshine in your life, and I will see you in the next video.